I'm an expert in helping people recover from knee arthritis for the long term and avoid a knee replacement surgery. My name is Dr. David Middaugh. I'm a specialist physical therapist, and I've helped many people, millions of people through the YouTube channel, and thousands of people in person, and hundreds of thousands of people through our online programs. One of my programs is called the Knee Arthritis Recovery Program, and I put my whole treatment approach into this program, and we've built it out more and more over the years, in the many years that it's been out. And currently it's at its best version, where we have a bunch of videos walking you through the treatment process, and then we have group coaching that's live every week, and then we also have a community of people that are all on the same mission of trying to improve their knee arthritis to avoid surgery, and I have my staff in there answering their questions. And so we've got a really cool thing going. But something that I've always wanted to do is research this program to see if it's objectively improving things, because we've got lots of great testimonials. We hear every week, every day almost, from people on our YouTube channel that are saying they're doing our stuff and it's improving their knee pain. Many that have avoided surgery, canceled their knee replacements because they're feeling better. And then through our program, on our live coaching calls, we hear from our clients all the time that they're doing many incredible things, walking more than ever, quitting medications, ending going to the doctor for injections, and most importantly, avoiding a knee replacement surgery while getting back to being active and doing fun things, the things that they love to do. So we started doing surveys that we're going to be doing every week to track the improvements of the people that are currently in our program. And I wanted to share with you our initial findings. And this is just the baseline survey, so we haven't had time to show the progress over time. But I wanted to make this video just to give us a starting point as to where we're at right now. And then I'll do an update video at some point, probably not every week, just to show how things are progressing. Now, this isn't official research. This is just internal research that we're doing with our program members. All of it's anonymous. You won't see anybody's names. You're just going to see graphs. But it's really interesting information, in my opinion. And for those of you that are watching that are thinking, I might want to do the Knee Arthritis Recovery Program, I think this is cool information for you to see of where our members are starting at. So let's take a look. First graph I have on here, I asked the question, have you been told by a healthcare professional that you have knee arthritis? So how many of these people have been officially diagnosed is what I'm getting at. And it shows that 90% of the people that responded have. Now, this was an optional survey, so we have a lot more people in our program, but these are the people that responded so far. The next graph is showing whatever healthcare professional they saw, if they staged them, as they told them you have stage 4 or stage 2 knee arthritis according to their x-rays. Because everyone in our group has had x-rays. I didn't show that graph, but that was 100% response on that one. But of the people that responded, what phase they're in, or I'm sorry, what stage they're in, phases are different. That's something that I do in my program. It shows here that 25% were stage 4, and there's that big purple chunk that says 30% there that says I don't remember. So I feel like that 25% chunk could probably be bigger if the people remembered what it was. But there's a lot of information that's shared at a visit with the doctor, and especially if it's bad information like you have knee arthritis. You get hung up on those words, and then everything else the surgeon says after that might be lost. So they might have been told they have stage 4 knee arthritis as well. But there's a lot in stage 3, there was 15%, and then there was 10% in stage 2, and there was a little bit there in stage 1 as well. Now, of the people that have been told they have knee arthritis, 75% have been told they're bone on bone. This is really interesting for me because we're getting massive improvements in people in our Knee Arthritis Recovery Program. They're doing incredible things, but I've never known exactly how many of them were bone on bone. A lot of them tell us they were told that they're bone on bone, but I didn't know that the number was around 75%. I thought it was more like 50%. So that's really cool. I think our program is very effective even for people with bone on bone knee arthritis. Now, the next question is if a doctor's ever recommended a knee replacement surgery, and 55% said yes, only 20% said no, and 25% said yes, but I declined or I delayed it. So really in total here, we're looking at 80% of people have been told that they have had that they should get a knee replacement surgery, but a quarter of the whole population said that they just declined it. So I'm not sure, I could probably do a better job with wording this question or communicating it well. It's my first foray into research, so forgive me if you're calling out all the mistakes I'm making. The next question is, have you ever had knee surgery? I asked this question because many people that have had knee arthritis now, they've had like a meniscus surgery in the past or something else. And these are our findings. 85% said no, they've never had surgery. 10% have had a meniscus surgery. And then there's that green slice right there, probably about 5% of people that said that they've had an arthroscopy procedure done. And then I left the question for yes, knee replacement, because it has happened where there's people in our knee arthritis recovery program that have already had a knee replacement on one side, and they're in our program to avoid a knee replacement on their other side. But that was good to see. So just a few people have had knee replacement, a knee surgery. The next thing I researched was, who are these people seeing? What other healthcare professionals are these people seeing? And what our bar graph here shows is that 85% of our respondents here have seen an orthopedist or an orthopedic surgeon. 70% have seen their PCP or their GP, their general doctor. And then also 70% have seen a physical therapist or physiotherapist if you're not in the United States. And then 1 has seen pain management specialist. And surprisingly, 40% have seen a chiropractor for their knee. And then we've had some other responses here like acupuncturist, podiatrist, and then a regenerative medicine doctor. Now we get into walking and other exercise. This is part of the stuff that I'm really interested in because I want to know what our members, our Knee Arthritis Recovery Program members are being guided on by other healthcare professionals. So I asked here if they've ever been advised to start walking by a healthcare professional as treatment for their knee arthritis. And 35% said yes, 65% said no. But check out this next question. If yes, did you feel that walking increased your knee pain? 61% said yes. This proves my thinking, or it's validating my thinking that walking tends to make knee arthritis worse. And my thought behind that is it's because people aren't typically taught how to use their glutes whenever they're walking. So they just start walking with their quads by default, and then they end up not using the right muscles while walking. That this increases the joint pressure and can worsen the knee pain from knee arthritis. So it's not surprising that we found these results, but I'm so glad that it's turning out this way. And there's 33% that said they're not sure. So my thinking on that is there's probably a chunk of people in there that did have an increase in knee pain. They just weren't sure if it was related to the walking because perhaps they were doing other things as well as the walking, and it's hard to say that it was the walking or this other exercise or this other treatment they were doing. The next question is, have you previously done quad strengthening exercises with intention to help your knee osteoarthritis? Now this is regardless if they were instructed by a healthcare professional or not. And over half, 55%, said yes, they have tried quad exercises. Check out the next response is, if yes, did you feel that quad strengthening exercises caused you increased knee pain? 38.9% said yes, but 55% weren't sure. So I think that's also a part of that group that maybe they were walking, doing aquatic therapy, doing other random therapies. They might have been getting injections or perhaps regenerative medicine treatments, and it's hard to say exactly what was causing an increase in knee pain. But I strongly suspect quad-based exercises do contribute to worse knee pain. Whether you're isolating the quads, like doing knee extension exercises, or going on walks and unknowingly using your quads a lot, bicycling can do the same thing if you don't know how to use your glutes. And the next question is, have you ever been advised to perform quad strengthening exercises by a healthcare professional to help the knee arthritis? 55% said yes, and 45% said no. So a little over half of our program members are being told by healthcare professionals to strengthen their quads. Now check out this next one. And when I talk about quad-based exercises and quad-dominant walking, I always talk about using your glutes more and strengthening your glutes. And when going through our knee arthritis recovery program, I make it a big deal for everyone to figure out their glutes, to turn them on, to activate them on command, and then to be able to isolate glute contractions apart from your thighs, because very often when somebody tries to tighten their glute muscles, their thigh muscles also kick in, which sets up the pathway for a compensation to happen. And then if the glutes are weak, the thigh muscles take over. So here's a question that I asked later on. It's can you consciously tighten your glutes? And I love the answer here. 40% said, yes, I can tighten my glutes, but thigh muscles also tighten. And then another 40% said, yes, I can tighten my glutes, but thigh muscles begin to compensate when I do too much. That's 80% of our population. And then there's 20% that said, yes, I can reliably tighten my glutes in all activities without fail. Thigh muscles do not compensate. No one said that they couldn't activate their glutes, so that's good. Now, something you do need to know about this population is it's a mix of people that have been in the program for a while, so they've had a chance to progress, and then there's some new people as well. I don't have information on who's new and who's not new that are answering. I'm trying to disassociate individual people from the data so we can just present big numbers. But this is really good initial findings. I'm excited to see how this research progresses and how these graphs change over time, because my goal for the whole group here is to have better glute activation, less quad activation, because that should decrease the pressure in the knee joints and begin to resolve the pain and prevent knee arthritis from getting worse. But that should also allow them to walk for longer periods of time and do other exercises, strengthening and cardio-based exercise, without making their knees worse, which is going to set them up to be more active, to do more things, because the stronger you are, the easier life gets. And if your knee isn't hurting while you're doing strengthening exercise, it's a win-win. You're doing pain-free exercise and you're getting stronger along the way, you're going to win. You're going to be more active and you're going to defeat knee arthritis. I can't wait to update you sometime soon. We'll talk more.